Hi, it's Edie, and happy Monday. It is an absolutely gorgeous day here in Washington State. The sun is out, there's no rain, which is awesome, and I also get to enjoy a day home with my kids as they're out of school today. And in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I wanted to start out this week's video with one of my very favorite quotes from Dr. King, and it is, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter." Now imagine for a minute if Dr. King had chosen to be silent, had chosen not to use his incredibly powerful voice to bring so much change to our nation, change to our world. And there are so many other examples of people in our history who have used their voices to cause change, to cause improvement on a global scale. But what about you? Where are you being silent in your own life about things that really matter? I remember when I was 16 and in high school, I wrote a poem in our creative writing class, and I loved that class because for the first time, I felt like I had an outlet to express some of my biggest, most important feelings. And that particular poem that I wrote, the title of it was Maybe If I Scream. And the poem really talked about how if I scream, people will pay attention to me. Maybe if I shout, somebody will care. But when I think back to that age, and when I think back to being in high school, I'm realizing I wasn't even using my voice. There were so many things in my world at that time that I needed to be speaking up about, that were really important to me, that were mattering in my world, and nobody around me knew it because I wasn't using my voice. I wasn't talking about the things that really, really mattered. And that silence literally almost killed me. There's all kinds of reasons why I wasn't speaking up that I'm sure most of you can relate to. Fear of rejection, fear of not being liked, fear of hurting the other person's feelings, fear of looking weak, fear of looking vulnerable, and embarrassment was a big one for me too, just being embarrassed about my situations and feeling alone in those situations. But whatever the reason, on some level, I must have really wanted to be heard because I was doing all kinds of other destructive things to get someone to listen to me in order to be heard, in order to speak up, even attempting suicide. And I'm lucky to be alive today. I'm grateful to be alive today, but it was a huge learning lesson for me. When I think about my life and my biggest pains and my biggest suffering, it has all come from a result of not using my voice. And the day that I started making a conscious decision to speak up about things that mattered most to me in my life, my relationships started to transform. So I hope today that you will also be inspired to speak up and to use your own voice in the areas of your life that matter the most, in the relationships that matter the most to you. I can't tell you how many times I have conversations with friends of mine, men and women, who are speaking to me the things that matter in their life. Yet when I say, well, have you had that conversation with your partner? They're like, oh no, I can't have that conversation. I don't want to deal with that confrontation. It's too uncomfortable. And so things stay exactly how they are. So I hope you too will be inspired by Dr. Martin Luther King's words to speak up about things that really matter so that you can start to see positive change in your world as well, and refuse to be a silent witness to life happening around you, and instead make the decision to be an engaged, active participant designer in your life. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Monday, and I hope that you will continue to use this day to honor the incredible human being that Dr. Martin Luther King was. Have an awesome week, and I will talk to you next time.